Hello, and welcome to Funnelheads. My name is Andrew, and today we're going to be going over all of the details in regards to Carnival Cruise Line's camps. Now, this is going to be pretty in-depth because there's a lot of different age groups to go over. We're going to start in Camp Ocean with the turtles, followed by the penguins, the stingrays, and the sharks. Then we're going to move to Circle C, and finally we're going to discuss Club O2. Now in this video, we're going to be going over the different age groups, the policies for those age groups, meals and meal times, as well as if there's any fees involved with camp. Now, a couple things before we get started is that camp is nearly free. There are a few situations where there's fees, but use the facilities. Our son is 6, he'll be 7 soon, which is crazy to me. He absolutely loves camp. I mean, he would stay there all day and all night long if, we let him. The staff there is so amazing. They do so many activities, so he's always engaged. And of course, he likes, the movies and video games as well, but he just loves going there. Like I said, he loves the crew specifically. So kids really do love it. The other thing I would say is get your kids to camp early, whether it's the first night or early the second day. I think they're going to be a little bit more hesitant to go as the cruise progresses, because of course kids meet different kids, and the crew meet certain kids, and they have familiar faces, and they might just feel a little left out, especially for the little ones, but also for the teenagers, the young teenagers, and then the older teenagers. They have the same situation. They have the meetup groups in the beginning of the cruise, and if they don't go to that, if they don't start to get to know people and familiarize themselves with the Circle C and the Club O2, they're probably going to be hesitant to go back or go there at all. So I would say try to make them go early on, and they're going to end up loving it. They're going to meet so many new friends, and hopefully they'll keep in touch with those friends after the cruise. But those are the two things I just wanted to say before we get started. Now, the first thing we're going to do is go over the policies in a second. Now, the policies are going to be pretty much the same across the board, across all the different age groups. If there is a change in policy, I'll make sure to notate it when we're going over that group, and I'll go ahead and post the same policies, as we get to the other groups. If you're looking for a specific age group, though, you can skip ahead. I'll put, basically chapters in this video, so that way you don't have to watch the whole video if you're looking for specific ages, of course. Also, these camps, whether it's Camp Ocean, Circle C, or Club O2, are going to be available across the fleet, so you don't have to worry about, your specific Carnival ship having one of these programs. They will be available, and all of the times that we go over and activities, they will be in the Carnival Hub app. All you have to do is go to the kids section, and it'll tell you, what times they open, what times they close, all of the meal times, etc. Now, there are 6 different programs for the kids, starting off at 6 months to 2 years. You have the turtles. 2 years to 5 years, you have the penguins. 6 years to 8 years, you have the stingrays. 9 to 11, you have the sharks, followed by Circle C, which is 12 to 14, and Club O2, which is your 15 to 17-year-olds. Now let's discuss the policy for the turtles specifically. Again, these policies will remain the same across the board unless notated. The policies are all children must be registered to participate. Registration should be completed before your cruise under your booking on Carnival.com. Now, Carnival's policy is to group children together according to age. Now, sometimes they will make an exception to this if, your kid is about to turn a certain age, or maybe there's a sibling or a friend that they've traveled with in another group. They may make an exception depending upon availability and situation. Just talk to the crew, at Camp Ocean, and they will do your best. I know specifically with our son, when he was going from the Penguins to the next one up, he was a little hesitant because, the kids were a lot older, a lot bigger than him, so they actually bumped him back down, to play, and he had a lot more fun, with kids that were a little bit more his size. So don't be afraid, to ask about that. Next up, the parent or guardian must present their sail and sign card, not only at drop-off, but also at pickup as well. Also, youth staff will put on wristbands on all children. Now, these wristbands will have the muster station on it. Wristbands are to be worn during the entirety of the cruise. Now, if they do damage the wristband, lose it, or whatever the case is, they can always get it replaced. Again, just ask the crew member at Camp Ocean. Now, children do not have to be potty trained to attend camp. However, parents do need to provide diapers as well as toiletries, so that way the crew can, use those specific toiletries for their child. Youth staff cannot administer any medication to any child participating in camp. Also, no medications except EpiPens and self-using inhalers are permitted in camp. If a child requires medicine to be administered, the parent or guardian would need to come back to camp to administer that. Now, again, like they said, that doesn't include EpiPens or self-inhalers. Now, speaking from experience, Rhett tends to have coughs. He has a little bit of asthma, allergies, whatnot. So we actually brought a inhaler to camp. They basically just registered it under his name, and they held it there while he was there. Once, we picked him up, it went with us, and we would just drop it off again. So we know from experience that you are allowed to do that. Now, complimentary cell phones are available on a limited basis to parents and guardians, and these are basically like the Nikon phones from back in the day, the ones that are like bricks and are impossible to break. However, that is not, asking you to try to break it, because I believe they told us it was either $100 or $150 to replace that phone, which is absolutely insane. But the cell phone is to be used on the ship. Of course, camp can call you, you can call camp, in case your kid wants to be picked up if something happens. Now let's go over the times of operation for the turtles. For sea days specifically, there's going to be limited times throughout the cruise for under 2 time. During this time, parents and guardians can leave their child in the care of youth staff. If you do that, there is a fee. However, the fee is $7.50 an hour plus an 18% gratuity per child. They can also have the option to stay with their child and use the facility for free. Under 2 time is designated for the use of under 2 only, so there's not going to be any other kids during that time. Now, port days are going to be different than sea days. Now, parents and guardians actually have the option to leave their child in the care of the youth staff. The same fees are going to apply. So again, $7.50 per hour plus 18% tip, which honestly I think is an extraordinary price for what you're getting. Now, the activities that the turtle group can participate in on those port days are going to be play dates, band, baby turtle trek, arts and crafts, dancing, educational games, and story time. Now, on evenings, the turtles can actually participate in night owls. The same fees are still going to apply. This takes place between 10 p.m. and 1 a.m., and cribs are available during those times. And the activities that they can participate in during that time is going to be slumber party atmosphere, movie times, and toys. All right, so now let's move up to the next age group, which is going to be the penguins, ages 2 from 5. Now, all the policies are going to stay the same here. I'll repost them in case you skip to this part of the video. Now, the times of operations for the penguins for Camp Ocean is going to be during sea days. They'll be supervised, scheduled, complimentary program activities running from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and then from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. followed by night owls. Again, same thing applies. So $7.50 per hour plus an 18% gratuity on top of that. Now, port days are going to be a little bit different. You're still going to get the supervised complimentary programming, and Kids' Choice actually begins from port arrival. So whatever time you actually get to the port, let's say you're going to Cozumel, Mexico for the day, you guys get there at 10. The camp will open at 10 for Kids' Choice, and Kids' Choice being, they can just kind of choose what they want to do, whether it's play with a certain toy or arts and crafts, anything that they want to do. Now, once it hits 12 o'clock, it'll be a kids-only lunch scheduled from 12 to 12:50. Then after lunch, regular scheduled activities will resume from 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. Now, during night owls on select nights, there could be a theme party. Now, the theme parties are an additional cost if your child wants to participate in those. Right now, they're going for $17 per child plus an 18% gratuity on top of that. Now, let's go over the meal times as well as, a sample of what they would be eating for lunch and dinner if they decide to eat at camp. One thing to note, Carnival really encourages parents to pick up their children during meal time so that way they eat with their family, especially during dinner, like in the dining room. But if you choose to, do something, specialty restaurant or whatever the case is, or maybe your kid just wants to eat at camp, they made a couple good friends, that is fine as well. So the times are lunch is offered again on port days from 12 to 12:50. That's going to be in the Lido Marketplace or the buffet. Now, dinner is offered every evening except embarkation day from 6 p.m. to 6:50 p.m. again in the Lido Marketplace buffet. Now, the sample menu for lunch and dinner, they can find things like pizza, chicken tostadas, mini burgers, fruit, french fries, broccoli, cauliflower, chicken nuggets, hot dogs, bacon, mac and cheese. As far as desserts, Oreo chocolate cake and ice cream, cookies. Now, here's a list of some of the activities that the kids might see at Penguins and Camp Ocean. You have fun with balloons, parachute fun, ball games, arts and crafts, do-it-yourself creations, handprint crafts, Play-Doh, books, toys, board games, bingo, let's make music, group games, Kids' Choice, movies, science and discovery, themed activities, face painting, and one of my son's favorite, video games. Now, that is all the information for the Penguins. Now let's move up an age group to the Stingrays, the 6 to 8 year olds. Now, as far as the policies, meal times, and the sample of what your kids could expect to eat during lunch and dinner, it's all going to be the same as the group before. If you happen to skip to this part of the video, I'll go ahead and put that information on the screen now. But let's get into some of the activities that the Stingrays could see at camp. Starting off with the active games, you have Gaga Ball, which I have no idea what that is, but sounds fun. You have ball games and dance class, arts and crafts, do-it-yourself creations, painting, jewelry making, spin art, books, toys, board games, just games in general, bingo, carnival challenge, speed stacking challenge, trivia, Kids' Choice, movies, science and discovery, volcano making, building, painting and exploding, penny boats and goop, themed activities, face painting. Some of the themed activities are Explore Outer Space, Island Time, Kid Challenge, Mexican Fiesta, and Pirates Adventure, as well as video games. Now, moving up to the next group, we have the Sharks, which are the 9 to 11 year olds. Now, this is the group where the policy does change, so I will go ahead and put on screen, the policies from all of the before groups that are still, going to be effective directive for the Sharks, but the policy change for the Sharks is that parents and guardians now have the option to basically letting their child sign in and sign out of camp by themselves. Or if you don't like that option, which I totally understand, you cannot allow them to do this. So basically, when you sign them up, when you register, they will either, ask you if you would like to allow them to sign in or out, or not allow. Either way is up to you. If you do allow them to sign in and out, the only stipulation with that is the child or children of yours would have to let them know what their destination is going to be, where they're heading to as they're leaving camp. So that way at least you have an idea of where they are. Hopefully they're heading back to you though. Now, some of the activities for the Sharks are going to be, as far as the active games, beanbag toss, gaga ball, ball games, dance class, arts and crafts, do-it-yourself creations, paper and glue, painting and chip drawing, books, toys, board games, games in general, as far as card games, human, hungry hippo, giant games, scavenger hunt, kids' choice, science and discovery, goop, penny boats, and make it sail, video games, as well as themed activities including face painting, mad scientists, sports mania, and superheroes on deck. Now that is everything for Camp Ocean in a nutshell. So if you have any questions in regards to camp, from the 6 months, turtles, all the way up to the Sharks, let me know in the comment section below. I know it's a lot of information, but yeah, just if you need any more, further explanation, questions, just put them down and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Moving on, we have Circle C, which is a completely different area on board your ship. Sometimes they're close to or next to Camp Ocean, but typically they're in a different area near Club O2. Now, Circle C are going to be for your young teens from 12 to 14 years of age. And this is going to be the best place for young teens to meet new friends. They can also enjoy the Circle C Lounge, which is a private lounge where they can cruise, chill, and connect. Each ship has a designated Circle C leader who is responsible for overseeing the program as well as the lounge. Now, as far as the policy goes here, whether you like it or not, this is a sign in, sign out is not needed for approval. They are free to come and go as they please. So there is no policy as far as that goes. Now, as far as the hours of operation, sea days, there is supervised complimentary programming, which runs from 12 to 5 p.m. and then from 8:30 p.m. to 1 a.m. On port days, there's also supervised complimentary programming running from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. and then again from 8:30 p.m. to 1 a.m. Now, some of the activities that are scheduled at Circle C is going to be, as far as the active games, you have beanbag toss, capture the flag, dodgeball, and manhunt, arts and crafts, do-it-yourself creations, messy mania, and jewelry making. They also hold See the World, which basically is a special, authentic celebration that shows different cultures around the world. Books and board games. Other games, they have card games, You vs. Staff, Carnival Challenge, as well as digital scavenger hunt. You choose movies, karaoke, video games, as well as themed activities. Now, last but not least, we have Club O2, which is going to be for the teenagers aged 15 through 17. Now, Club O2 is the best spot for teenagers where it's all about them and what they want to do, whether it's music, movies, dance, jam out, karaoke, or attending Carnival's version of prom. Each ship is designated with a Club O2 leader who is responsible for the program as well as the lounge. Now again, this lounge is private, just like Circle C. It's only meant for this age group. Now, Club O2 is going to have the same exact policies as Circle C, so there is no signing in, no signing out. They are free to come and go as they please. Now, some of the activities that your teenager would see in Club O2, we have, as far as the active things, basketball, capture the flag, dodgeball, manhunt. Arts and crafts is do-it-yourself creations, journal making, messy mania. Again, See the World, which is that authentic celebration where they're going to celebrate different cultures from around the world. Books, board games, games as far as cards, Human Hungry Hungry Hippo, Lyric Bee, scavenger hunts. You choose movies, karaoke, video games, and the themed activities, whether it's face painting, king and queen formal, which is their version of the prom, really cool, usually takes place on one of the formal nights on your cruise, neon jungle, and teen Olympics. Now that is all of the information for all of Carnival's kids programming all the way up to the teenage years. Again, take advantage of it. The kids absolutely love it. Even, young teenagers and the teenagers. It is the best way to meet other people on your cruise. They will meet friends, hopefully for the rest of their lives. We have traveled with, other friends who've had teenagers, met kids in, the same programmings that we've mentioned and, are talking once they're home, especially nowadays, with FaceTime and messaging and all that good stuff. They have it easy to be able to, connect with people after the cruise, but they will really enjoy it. Now, again, something really important and I highly suggest is have your kids, no matter if they're young, toddlers, all the way up to your teenagers, have them go to these areas, whether it's the first day or the second day. You don't want to wait, the longer that they wait, the more hesitant they're going to be because, of course, people are going to start meeting other people, the crew and the kids are going to meet, and they're just going to be a little bit hesitant to kind of go in and kind of, form those new relationships. But if everybody's new, then it's a lot easier. So that is my suggestion. And like I said, we bring Rhett day one all the time. Of course, they don't open till later in the evening, but they do have like an orientation where you can at least bring them to the area, make them comfortable, with the room at least and some of the staff. So it really does help. That is it. I know it's a lot of information. Again, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments section below. I really appreciate all the support. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. We appreciate it. Hopefully we'll see you right back here in the next video or on a cruise ship one day. Catch you later.